Excellent. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope you all have been enjoying our fourth annual Schomburg Center Literary Festival. It is so good to have you all back on 135th Street, enjoying these books, getting the swag. I see you. Thank you for supporting the Schomburg Center, and I hope you enjoy your summer and then come back and look at our calendar. We have about a week of events in August, and then, of course, our full season starts again in September. But today, I'm Novella Ford. I'm the Associate Director for Public Programs and Exhibitions here at the Schomburg Center, co-producer of this literary festival. And so give yourselves a round of applause for making it out and being here. And let's thank the good whomever you think is good and outside in the world for giving us this incredible weather today. I'm going to thank the good Lord for this good weather. So today I get a chance to have a conversation with the incredible artist, Jennifer Mack Watkins. She is the artist who created this artwork. She has allowed us to use it for the Literary Festival. Isn't it amazing? It's called Take a Look, The Universe is Yours. And it so embodies what we think about when we think about this literary festival, when we think about the opportunities and the worlds that we get to really expand out into when we read books. So I'm happy to have a conversation with Jennifer. If you have questions, just raise your hand. I'm happy to pivot to you if you have a question while we're discussing this. But thank you all again for joining us. And so we're going to have a combat. Could it go? Excellent. Jennifer.
Hey, Novella.
It's so great to be able to sit here with you. So we actually do know each other. So I'm going to try not to do the hey girl thing. But first, I just want to say thank you again for lending your work to this literary festival. It has so much going on. There's so many worlds happening. There's woodblock,
Yes.
right? Woodblock happening in here. Tell us a little bit about the process in making this, why you named it so, and tell us about the figures that you've placed in it.
Okay. Well, the title of the piece is Take a Look, The Universe is Yours. I created it in 2019, about the same year my last son was born. I had two children, and so I wanted to make sure that the work that I created at that point was to inspire my own children, to help them see themselves in the work that I create in order for them to be able to understand how to navigate the challenges that they might, endure along their path or journey. And so basically the technique is called makuhanga, which is a Japanese woodblock. I traveled to Japan 2 times, and I've taken a lot of classes even after I went to grad school at Pratt Institute. And basically it involves using wood, and you have very sharp tools. They can go in different sizes from V sizes to U, and they have different thicknesses as far as the blade, and you carve into it. And basically the white lines that you see, those are all the cuts I had to carve to be able to get the image. So basically you're just trying to take away wood or take away negative space that you don't need to make the image. And so the more colors you see, that's a block for each color. So each color is a block that's carved. And I also combined it with mixed media, which is I added some stars in the background as well. So it's mixed media, a combination of collage and Japanese woodblock.
Incredible. And so I know that you recently had an exhibition in Vermont, and some of the inspiration were the Brownie books. So literature has literally been an inspiration for your work. So could you talk a little bit about how you think about literature for young people, and how you've incorporated over time in your work?
Thank you. Well, Schomburg has been a big resource for all of my work that I've ever created. I always start off with research. I think research is really important because I'm always interested in seeing how children have read, how they played, how they've interacted with the world they live in different time periods. And so I've come to the stacks a lot of time looking for boxes and looking for articles, looking for who were those key people who were making sure that children had what they needed to be successful. And basically it starts off with the research. Yeah. And I think book reading, I think growing up, my mom thought the library was the safest place to go to, and she didn't mind. She knew if you weren't home, we were at the library. We can go there and check out books for free, walk down the road. I'm from South Carolina, so we had a dirt road, so we walked the dirt road to get to the library, and so I've always been in the library all the time.
So you walked a dirt road. Now, did you walk a dirt road, or is this like in sort of the
No.
old-timey way where we walk 10 miles to get to a place? Tell me.
I hope it wasn't 10 miles, but it actually was a dirt road for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
The question that I had just slipped out of my mind, but so I'm thinking about these characters, and I'm wondering, in your reading, and you're thinking about children's books, were there any children's book illustrators that really sort of sparked, if at all, sparked this kind of idea of being an artist, or even being an artist that focuses on children sort of in the work?
I think it would probably even go further probably even before I started looking at like artists. I think it would have to probably go back to like a Jacob Lawrence, like artists that I know that have been able to carry the line of being an artist and illustrator and being able to like document like history that's been happening. And I feel like it would probably be Jacob Lawrence. It would be people like, even like Romare Bearden. Like, I feel like they were all illustrators to me because they were able to illustrate our life, like what was happening now. And if they weren't able to do that, they were able to go back and pass and research. And the research is really important part of those two figures. Dr. Samela Lewis, I would even go back to Dr. Margaret Burroughs. Like, they're all printmakers, but they also did so many different types of artwork. The two women I just named, they did sculpture, they did printmaking, they did illustration. So I feel like I'm attracted to artists and people who are able to carry different mediums and not just like be an illustrator, but they're able to do so many different art forms to relate our history.
So you have a children's book that will be coming out this fall. Tell us a little bit about it.
So basically, it's going to be a pre-order in October. In January, the book comes out. It's about, I can't reveal too much of it, but I can tell you it's about a self-taught artist, and he was a whittler, so he would whittle like sculptures, and he would whittle like relief works of art, and he was based in Ohio, and he also was a barber, so he was an entrepreneur, and he was a self-taught artist, and he was able to have this space of the barbershop, a place to bring the community together, but also his barbershop was also a place to showcase his work. And so it's going to be a great story about him, and I had a lot of time to like research like what would the barbershop look like in the 70s and so forth. And so a lot of research went into like the barbershop scene because I never did barbershop scenes. I never even put males in my work. So I had to figure out, what do males wear? What are shoes? What are clothes? And so all that went to making the book. So the book will be coming out in January, right around Black History Month.
Oh. And how did the project come to you? Or did you go to them and have an idea and they said, okay, we'll figure something out?
Well, they found me somehow.
Not somehow.
On the internet. And then they approached me, and they got a great, nice, warm email. I never did a children's book before, but I always wanted to. And so I always thought I would be a children's book illustrator, but I didn't think it would actually come, like, so soon. And so basically they came to me, and I got the manuscript, and it took me a little bit of time to come up with the thumbnails and the sketches, and then from there the final drawings, and then to the woodcut. So it definitely was about a 1.5-year process to put the whole book together.
Do you have plans to do other books or children's books?
I'm interested in doing more. I feel like this is just like a starting point for me, but I'm hoping I can get more in the future. Maybe different ages. I think everyone needs a picture, So I think it's not just really for children, but there are really great children's books out there that speak to me. Like just recently, I bought the book by Floyd Cooper about the Tulsa riots, and it was basically about his grandfather who lived in Tulsa. And so Floyd Cooper, he passed away, a really big illustrator. He was able to record that and make a really great book, and that was a picture book for my daughter, but it also was to help me understand more about what was life like during Tulsa before the riots.
And how do your children influence your art making, and has it changed at all from before you had children to once you have now? You have two.
Yeah, I have two, a boy and a girl. It influences me all the time. Like, I have tons of photo references on my phone, so eventually those will all become prints in some way or fashion. I feel like it's got me more to understand the importance of play and allowing them to be able to have that time to play without us being able to structure every moment. And I feel like I get the best pictures, I get the best moments to remember as future prints because I'm able to watch them and observe them play and let them be children without me telling their every move. I feel like the play has really, really makes me think about the angles that I use, the colors I use, the subject matters and concepts behind the work. But I feel like I'm able to watch them play, so that's really influenced my work that I create.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you think of your work as a political act? Do you think operating as an artist?
Yeah, I think in general, I feel like just taking up space, that where we're not always on be able to see ourselves, but I feel like it is a form of political act because in the past there were really not a lot of books out there for us, but now it's more open. We're everywhere, but before it wasn't many, and some of the books that were out there were not positive, representation of African American children. So I feel like it is an act. I feel like just being here, not at the Schomburg, but in certain places, I feel like it is a social act because there aren't a lot of African American printmakers, not a lot of female, who are able to be successful, to be an artist and to be a mother. So I feel like it's a political act to show that I can do both.
And how do you balance your time, right, between being a mother, an a wife, an artist, an educator? Is there a such thing as balance?
Shoot, let me think. It's always a juggle. I feel like I couldn't do it without my husband and my mom. They're watching the children while I'm here. I think the balance is having a support group to help you be able to be successful. If I didn't have a support group, they'll be running around. I'll be thinking about making sure they're sitting down, but the balance is making sure that everything is planned and orchestrated. Like I had an itinerary before I came here. I have to be planned every minute to make sure I use every minute that I need to make sure that I'm able to promote myself as an artist. But the balance is that. The balance is like, sleep a little bit in the beginning of the night, and I wake up sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to continue on what I need to get done. That's the best time. It's quiet. No one doesn't need anything. And so 3 o'clock is like a beautiful silence, a beautiful peace that I'm able to get in my studio early in the morning. So the balance is just finding the time, organizing and planning out everything from the beginning of the day to the end.
Yeah. Now, I know we've been talking a lot about children and sort of their depiction in your work, but that's not the whole of your work, right? How else are you influenced by the world around you in creating?
I think just like the role of the women, like there isn't quite a role for us, right? Like we can make any role that we wish to be. So I'm interested in like looking at women from the past, historically, present times, my own life. Sometimes I put myself in the work. Sometimes I think about, my own like challenges I've had, growing up and even just being a teacher, and then from teaching to like teaching artists and from artists. And so I've been through so many different changes. So sometimes I throw my own personal life into some of my work.
So you're here. There are no kids, no husband.
No. But
How are
I
you?
wish they were here though.
Oh, was that just for them?
No, it's for real. It's for real.
No, I know it is. But what do you do differently when they're not here? How are you using that time, right? Because I do believe, and I hear a lot about this from artists around, finding that interior space, finding that time to be with your own thoughts that are not exactly influenced by your family, but really just sort of resituating yourself, so when you go into a residency or you're here and your family is not with you, how is that helpful to your practice?
Yeah, I think it is because like any space where I'm alone, like I just came back from Ohio last week and then I'm in Harlem this week, but I feel like this trip has been different because I moved to Savannah, Georgia last year in June. So I got a chance to become a tourist for the first time. I don't have anywhere I have to be. There's no particular schedule other than to be here at 3 o'clock. But I've been able to like look around for the first time. I went to the World Trade Center, not such a happy place, but I was able to actually look and touch the names and hear the water and understand the importance of footprints and how we don't forget people even if they're not around. And so I was able to experience that. I had an art exhibition in Red Hook last night. I took the ferry. I hadn't taken the ferry in like 3 years. And so that was great. So I get to be a tourist and really understand my place in the memories that I have and the place that I spent a long time in. So that's how I kind of interact.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your time here in New York. I want to make sure, am I missing any questions from the audience? Anybody have? Sure.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Thomas.
So, my question is for the art piece, did you have like a blueprint on what you wanted to do, or was it something that you created as you went? I was curious about that.
Yes, that's a great question. By the way, I don't know if he wants me to tell you, but this is my past student. I taught at Harlem Children's Zone for 5 years. I taught him from 7th grade to 10th grade. Went to his graduation party, saw him all the way through. He just graduated from Morehouse College, going to be a brain surgeon. Um, and so, yes, I had a blueprint. The blueprint where you, the students at Harlem Children's Zone, it's green because I think they had green sweaters as a uniform. And so I basically took photographs of two of the students during reading time, and I held onto that photograph for a very long time. That was like 2014, 2013, just held onto it. And then about in 2019, I said, I want to use it. And so it took a long time to come back to that image, but I felt like I kept trying to understand, like, even when I was teaching, like, how can I juggle between being an artist and being a teacher? So I didn't really even put children in my work back then. It was all women, but it wasn't until later on. And so basically the blueprint was just being able to be around children. That was the blueprint. And then from there, the photograph came, the drawing came, the transfer to the wood, and then the rest is carving and the print is made. So that was the blueprint, the children.
And congratulations.
Jennifer. Jennifer is my niece. We have three aunts here and a cousin, so we're very, very proud of her. We're very familiar with your work that's on display now. She's done a magnificent demonstration of dolls, black dolls, and they're dressed in character of historical characters. And I was just wondering, are you going to do something with them in a future book, maybe just a future book for children about these famous historical characters?
Wow. I think that's a great idea. Maybe they should become a next book. But I'm planning on using their faces for future works to kind of put them in different settings and different costumes and clothes, and maybe even thinking of them, making them more like a symbol of the black child. So I'm interested in doing that in my work. But maybe it could be a book. So thanks for the idea, Aunt Pat.
Ideas can come from anywhere, really, right?
That's right.
Well, what do you want to tell us about this work that we don't know, that some of us will keep these, I will keep many of them as it's a remembrance of this particular festival, but what should we know about this work that we may not be looking at or seeing immediately?
Okay. Well, I think just in general, I feel like even looking below, even beneath like the title and the work itself, is just the idea of just having children to have the opportunity to just see themselves as something that might not exist. Like, we don't always have to go the typical route of like, this is the safest way, this is the way you should go, but let the children be able to have their own journey and let them be able to imagine things. If it doesn't exist, give them that time to be able to see if they can at least try it out, and you'll just be there to hold their hand. If you know somebody in your neighborhood that might need a little encouragement, it's okay to imagine. It's okay to do that. If we didn't imagine, we wouldn't be here, right? Like, we have to be able to have that place for imagination. And so I feel like the most important thing is just allow, whether they're dancers or artists or like, theater or poetry, just let them create. And you can create too. And you can imagine too, even as an adult.
You can imagine too, even as an adult. Oh, we have one more question. Thank you for that answer. No, I think we have to be reminded to imagine, and that the world that we live in is someone's construct already in the institutions that we're in. And so we have the opportunity to do the exact same thing and imagine a different world. And so
Exactly.
I think it's a helpful reminder.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Sydney.
Thank you so much for your work. I wanted to ask, for those that want to support your work further, where should we go? Do you want to say the name of your book that's coming out that people can go and pre-order? Just a little sneak peek.
Sure. The book is called You Got to Meet Mr. Pierce. And basically, it's a story that's going to come out, and you'll be able to see the whole book is all illustrated with woodcuts. So the same process you see here, I made 34 wood blocks from the beginning, from the front of the cover to the inside. It's going to have a lot of good surprises inside, and so basically you can look out for the book there. My Instagram is Mac_Jennifer Prince, and so basically you can follow my journeys from different states and different places I'll be going along the way, and I'll try to put up different things to remind you when the pre-order comes out, but it's called You Gotta Meet Mr. Pierce. And yeah, that's how you can find out more information about the book.
So if this is your first time seeing Jennifer, make sure that it is not the last time. Her work is incredible.
Thank you.
Just as I went to the Faith Ringgold exhibition and you got to see the illustrations of Tar Baby on display, I'm sure that we will be doing the same thing
Yes.
for this book that's coming out as well as others, but certainly there's incredible artwork. So congratulations, Jennifer, all that you do, and thank you again.
Thank
And I'm going to
you.
have Jennifer sign my program, and I'm not saying you should or that she will for yours as well, but that's what
you.
I'm going to do.
Thank you. I'll give it to you.
Please enjoy the rest. Please give Jennifer another round of applause.
Thank you.
Make sure she hears from you about how beautiful this artwork is. We could not have this beautiful layout of the festival.
you.
This was the inspiration for so much that we have around.
Thank you, Lavelle.
I hope that you're enjoying the festival. Unfortunately, our next poet who was supposed to be here, Harold Green III, flight was canceled. It has been really a wreck over this weekend of flights. So unfortunately, he's not here. However, he has 2 incredible books that I will show you and recommend picking up. They're really lovely and probably a great recommendation for Father's Day. So hold on one second. Because in addition to celebrating Juneteenth, we're also celebrating for some folks Father's Day. The one is called Black Roses, and it's an ode celebrating powerful black women. And the second book, Black Oak, is the ode of celebrating powerful black men. And the illustrations are gorgeous inside. And so unfortunately, he will not be here, but I can tell you that our last program in the Langston Hughes Auditorium is with Abiodun Owole, who is one of the founding members of the Last Poets. There's one more program happening on the Adam Clayton Powell stage as well. So if you have not already had your fill of books, I hope that you will stay with us. There's one more program down in the... Okay, no, maybe that might be over. So thank you all for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you at one of these events. But please make sure you chat up, Jennifer. Have a good day.